Don't put your hand where you wouldn't put your face. She said, hey, collar of a rat, you top place. Brilliant green substance unknown, with a face like a field of neon. She's been dragged, all smack automatic, to make it your home clean, make it sense. She says, now I'm new skin free, furnish me with this urge to fall into a no smoking zone of stainless steel. Tokyo, me and big white dog got to hijack the cantops for Babylon. Bambi out of Mercer Street, where the crackheads have walked for charity, where teenage sex rises, stone rhythm, trading its cheerlead skins to the screamers come to hunt their meat, to the gold diggers in his boots and the recycled blondes with their stacked cute snatches, the monster trucks, the rolling rocks, the voodoo boys with their little bone daggers and dark stuff comes oozing out the apple car tonight like a beggar's
Talk to me. Welcome back to New World Next Week. I'm James Corbett of CorbettReport.com.
And I am James Evan Pilato of MediaMonarchy.com. There's been a major shift in the right direction by some of the largest companies. We have got that story, plus COP29 cometh. But first, I bet you we get a brand new Tool album by next summer now. Trump wins the White House in massive political comeback. This coming from the Associated Press. Donald Trump was elected the 47th president of the United States on Wednesday. An extraordinary comeback for a former president who refused to accept defeat 4 years ago, sparked a violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, was convicted of felony charges, and survived 2 assassination attempts, really like a real gangster. With a win in Wisconsin, Trump cleared the 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. The victory validates his bare-knuckles approach to politics. He attacked his Democratic rival Kamala Harris in deeply personal and misogynistic and racist terms as he pushed an apocalyptic picture of a country overrun by violent migrants. The coarse rhetoric, paired with an image of hyper-masculinity, resonated with angry voters, particularly men, in a deeply polarized nation. In state after state, Trump outperformed what he did in the 2020 election, which Harris failed to do as well as Joe Biden did in winning the presidency 4 years ago, which does have a lot of people talking again about how it is now abundantly clear that Joe Biden didn't get 81 million votes in 2020. They cheated. Trump won that election as well, and the lack of Democrat turnout was because those voters maybe never existed. It is harder to rig when more people show up, James, aside from them maybe being baby-eating Satanists and lizard people. The game works more when more people show up. Trump declares victory for greatest political comeback in American history after astonishing election night sweep. That's the headline from the Daily Mail. And if I've made the analogy on New World Next Week before, I forget, James. Rigging elections is a little bit like weather manipulation. They can steer it, they can sort of move storms and hurricanes and hopefully seed them a little bit, but I don't believe they can invent a tornado that comes and knocks on your door and comes and kills you. Not yet, anyway. They can steer things in certain directions, but again, if a bunch of people show up, it's a lot harder to rig. And it looks like a hat trick. They got the House, they got the Senate, which controls both houses of Congress, and they got the presidency. It was just jubilation. Trump supporters revel in his victory. That is the headline from the New York Times. And James, a long-time West Virginia homie texted me last night, unprompted by me, yeah, maybe we can fix the damn economic issues with capitalists running the country again. I'm so done with woke bull bleep. Men are kind of sick of being the devil and being masculine is somehow evil. And that was maybe a little bit of my feeling. I don't know if we talked about this off mic, James, after I visited family in West Virginia in September. I started to get the feeling that maybe this was going to be one of those silent majority type of situations because they've realized they're going to get yelled and screamed at by their family and in-laws and friends on social media. I think they stopped saying anything and stopped posting anything and stopped talking anything and let the left be the ones to constantly talk about Trump. And I think they just kind of went in yesterday and voted for him. And I guess because no one concedes on the night of anymore, apparently, James, we were speculating. My memory in 2000 was that Al Gore came out that night and said, hey, we don't know yet. We're going to keep fighting. Have a good night. But we don't do that. Harris to concede to Trump after election loss. That was the lead up, and then live today, and I even just aired it live in the middle of my music mix on Media Monarchy. In concession speech, Harris says, when we lose an election, we accept the results. Didn't sound that way from a lot of the callers on C-SPAN. James, C-SPAN is like the talk radio of political TV. It's like, are we going to put this dude on the air? It's like, yes, we are. And it just goes out live. It's pretty unfiltered and awesome. And I wonder, it's the meme sphere sorcery, James, might really be operating on some kind of crazy other level. A squirrel ran across the stage while everybody was waiting and waiting and waiting for Kamala Harris's concession speech, because maybe this whole victory was for Peanut the Squirrel, James.
Maybe. I didn't hear about the squirrel on the stage, so there you go. Luckily, I haven't.
Okay, but you've heard about the death of the celebrity squirrel
Yes,
on the stage
yes,
of New
yes,
York.
yes.
Okay.
Everyone's heard about Peanut. Come on. Yeah. All right. Well, James, everyone knows what I'm going to say about all of this, and they could predict it all in advance. And they know that I'm going to point them to articles like Kit Knightley's recent op-ed on the fakest election of our lifetime goes to the polls, or John and Nisha Whitehead's post-election truths, the things that won't change no matter who wins. Or I will point to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte talking about this, saying that NATO will stay united whoever wins the U.S. election. And, of course, I will point to the military-industrial complex deep state that always runs the show and always will, who just happened to decide to test their hypersonic nuclear missiles in the hours after the selection took place. Interesting. All right. What kind of message is being sent out there? Well, the Daily Fail says World War III fears, so there you go. Make sure everybody's afraid all the time is, of course, the number one way of doing it. But, having said all of that, and I could even get into the deeper point about all of this, which is, hey, I don't know, if I was a member of the deep state that wanted people to keep going to the polls and keep trusting the system, I would make sure, yep, see, Donald Trump won. See, guys, it's fine. It's not rigged. You voted harder, and it worked. So vote harder in 2028, guys. That's the lesson. And millions upon millions upon millions of people will truly believe that in their heart of hearts. So, mission accomplished for the deep state. But, no, I won't say any of that, because we are going to have 4 years to document the deep state globalist agenda rolling forward as if nothing changed whatsoever. There will be plenty of time for that. But the people who need to hear that message are not listening right now, and they're not going to listen to a thing I'm going to say about this. So I am going all in, 100%, Team Deep State, Musk, Teal, Palantir, Starlink. I am 100% on board. I'm drinking the libtard tears. Go cry in your transgender woke bathrooms, libtards. Yeah! We won! We won! We won! America! Yeah! I am going to go 100% all in. I'm totally Team Trump, guys. Remember to subscribe to the Corbett Report so you can get all your Team Trump information over the next 4 years. I'm going to be so hard on the Trump train. I'm going to be totally telling you all the truth about what's happening with the Trump administration. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Give me some of those Ameribucks before they're converted into PBDC. None of this CBDC, central bank digital currency. No, no, no. Trump doesn't roll that way. It's going to be private bank digital currency, and it's going to be so much better, guys. And I'm going to be here to document it for you. So subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. James?
Where did you get that shirt?
Attentive viewers will remember that I busted it out for my Elon Musk technocratic hipster episode.
Well, and remember, and I forget which, patsy frontman was in D.C. at that point, but we learned years back that the Federal Reserve is above the presidency. All those things that, again, that will continue to go on. I'm sure, and this is really interesting, James, to hear callers into C-SPAN this afternoon that were Democrats that said, I can't support genocide. Do you think Trump is going to stop that in Israel? He's never done it before. He only fans the flames and made Jerusalem the capital. So you got the Federal Reserve above the president, Federal Reserve, Israel, all that stuff will still keep rolling along. Thomas Massey, maybe, as the Secretary of Agriculture. I'm looking for the bright lining moments.
I am holding my breath, waiting for RFK to scrap all the vaccines. We'll see. We'll see.
We will see, indeed. And, stock market was booming today. Bitcoin was booming today. It is reaching up. I think it's at all-time highs, pretty much. James, the other thing I was going to ask you before I initially threw it back to you was, did our election get more coverage than Shohei Ohtani winning the World Series recently? Well,
that's an excellent question, but that would be predicated on me watching the legacy dinosaur media news here, which I tend to avoid, so I honestly don't know.
Well, I believe you did say that it was kind of a big deal with Shogun
Oh, yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. You couldn't avoid Otani, but I have avoided the selection, so I guess that's the answer.
Okay, that's like saying, we're like, oh, you missed it. It's like, I wasn't there, but I didn't miss it. That's how we get going on New World next week, episode 571. In other bits of good news, glyphosate levels decline in oats. Grabbing this from gmwatch.org. And again, for 15 years, everything we talk about on these shows always linked up down in the show notes. After years of being detected at alarming levels, the pesticide glyphosate is being found at lower levels on average in cereal and other oat-based products that children and adults enjoy. This, according to tests by the folks at the American nonprofit Environmental Working Group, EWG. They believe its calls for an end to the pre-harvest use of glyphosate on oats may have helped to drive the change. EWG reports, however, that this toxic chemical is still showing up in other brands of cereals and oat-based products. 30% of items tested show high amounts of the pesticide, and it's possible that the decline in the pesticide levels that EWG is seeing is the result of pressure on farmers by grain traders to grow their crops without glyphosate and certain other pesticides of concern. A farmer based in Canada circulated a document that the Canada-based leading agricultural processing and distributing company Adroit is asking its supplier to sign up. They're basically trying to get people to sign up. Now, not to win $1 million from Elon Musk, but to sign its supplier farms. In signing, the farmer promises not to use certain agrochemicals that, while approved for use in Canada, quote, may result in residues that are not acceptable in certain export markets. The banned chemicals include glyphosate when applied to oats. Other proscribed chemicals include, good googly moogly, glufosinate, ammonium, cormaquat, and several others. It's good when you can't pronounce their nasty poisons. You should hit those words and go, I don't know what that is. And other chemicals when applied to a wide variety of crops, namely good things that you can pronounce, like barley, beans, buckwheat, canola, fava beans, flaxseed, lentils, mustard seed, oats, peas, rapeseed, rye, and wheat. Those are good. Those are good. Those are the good words. Most U.S. imports of oats actually come from Canada. I didn't know that, James. It's possible that the drop in glyphosate levels seen in oats bought in the U.S., are being driven by enforced farmer abstinence in Canada. Henry Rollins, director of the Detox Project, which carries out glyphosate testing for citizens and the food sector, agrees. There's been a major shift in the right direction by some of the largest agricultural companies in Canada when it comes to pre-harvest spraying of glyphosate. James, not unmitigated good news, just straight up good news.
Yes, indeed. And you're that's such an important point. Here's a story that's 1,000,000 times more important than the previous story, but will get 1,000,000 times less attention and coverage and interest. Who cares? Whatever. Big deal. Because people like to think that ticking a box in a booth at once every 4 years is the most important thing in the world when it will change nothing. Whereas things that can actually, truly, really, tangibly, measurably change in the real world, that's a lot of work. And besides, it's not like it's all gone overnight. Therefore, it's completely worthless that it's heading in the right direction. Anyway, people who understand this story understand its importance. People who don't understand this story, I will not only recommend they go back to the GM Watch article that we're linking to here, which is where I got the story, which is why we're linking to that one, but to the EWG article that article links to, which is the source of this. They're the ones that do this testing, and they've been doing it for the past 4 years, and they have been finding the declining levels. So they break it in the EWG article into the good news. After years of being detected at alarming levels, the pesticide glyphosate is being found at lower levels on average in cereal and other oat-based products that children and adults enjoy, because glyphosate has been linked to severe health problems. The bad news, this toxic chemical is still showing up in popular brands of cereal and other oat-based products. So we're not there yet, but things are heading in the right direction. And again, this is tangible, measurable, provable, and they show the graph of their testing, and they show the 2018, 2019, 2022 results. And there's been a marked and visible drop in these levels. Good, we're heading in the right direction. And why? What is driving the change? As the EWG article points out, as GM Watch was pointing out, there have been a number of initiatives, pushes. EWG doing this testing has resulted in pressure on companies. Kellogg's came out with a pledge saying that they will source their oats from growers who don't use glyphosates. There's a Canadian initiative called Keep It Clean, which advises grain producers that some grain buyers may not accept cereal crops treated with pre-harvest glyphosate. There's the pledge going around that you talked about. So there's a lot of pressure that is building about this. And I put this in the same category, for example, as the bovine growth hormone milk example that I've talked about many, many times, Posilac. They were trying to put bovine growth hormone in the dairy supply in America, for example, and it was basically in all the milk products you were buying for a little while until there was some growing awareness, there was a growing campaign, there was growing pressure on companies, and Walmart and all of these other chains had to pledge, okay guys, we won't use BGH milk, and now it's difficult to find the BGH milk because there was this concerted campaign. Hopefully things are going in the same direction as glyphosate. I know, it's a long and drawn out and boring process, and it doesn't involve ticking a box every 4 years and having a little celebration on a stage. But this is what actual change looks like, and I am, hats off to the people who are doing this and bringing attention to this issue. I think it's important, and it's one of the most baseline levels of everything that we can be doing is making sure we are eating healthy foods, because exactly as you say, if you can't pronounce the name of the ingredient, you probably shouldn't be ingesting it, right? That's just a good rule of thumb. It's not 100%, but it's probably close. So let's see how much we can push the needle back towards some sort of actual healthy organic foods, and hopefully get people thinking about what they're putting in their body. So I agree. Not unmitigated good news. Easy for me to say.
It's the economy, stupid. I think the same reason the election went the way that it did is that lofty arguments about this and that don't really matter at the end of the day when people are just worried about what they're going to eat and paying rent. And it's bizarre, James. Half of the folks are blindly in love with the dude, but then we have the other half blindly in hate with the guy. And it's a shame because a lot of those people used to fight with us against pesticides. People marched with us against Monsanto, trying to get food labeled. The things that we worked on when we were in Portland, maybe tilting at windmills or misplaced energy. Some of it may now be as we look at it a decade later. But those folks are gone, man. I mean, I think I've told you off mic, my wife literally getting into arguments with people that used to be anti-GMO, suddenly now being pro-big pharma vaccines. Again, it's the same bunch of corporations. Where did all those Democrat friends go? It's a question we've been wondering. Our third and final story, James, I know where they are. They're jetting off to a climate conference in their private jets. COP29, 1 week to go, new collective quantified goal. Taking this from climateaction.org. A week today, COP29 will kick off in Baku, Azerbaijan. Easy for me to say, and I was going to make the joke earlier. If I can't pronounce it, maybe because it's Portuguese and I don't speak Portuguese, not because it's some weird patented lab name they made up. There's, again, the different types of pronunciation difficulties. Getting Babel or, Rosetta Stone isn't going to help you pronounce their poison patented chemicals. A week today, COP29 will kick off in Baku, Azerbaijan, where the climate finance landscape is expected to shift with the establishment of the new collective quantified goal NCQG. Those are tough letters to say. The NCQG aims to replace the existing $100 billion annual climate finance target set way back in 2009 with a more ambitious goal that considers current climate vulnerabilities and increased funding needs in those poor developing countries. Projections suggest that developing economies will need around $1.1 trillion by next year, rising to $1.8 trillion by 2030, with the private sector expected to play a more substantial role than before. On November 14th, the COP29 presidency will host a series of events on finance, investment, and trade day. Within this, Global Financial System, Scaling Up Financing for Climate Action, will outline discussions about the global financial system's role in mobilizing private sector investments for climate adaptation and mitigation, emphasizing the need for consistent climate result measurements and new financial structures to crowd in private capital, especially in developing countries. Again, we might need our Bilderberger pharmaceutical Trump supporters like Thiel. The Climate Action Innovation Zone will take place 13 to 15 November, bringing together the private and public sector, government representatives, climate leaders, and civil society organizations. Transforming the climate finance landscape is embedded throughout the agenda with a variety of panels, dialogues, and inspiring keynotes. James, did I just read an inspiring press release?
You sure did, and you did it with gusto, so thank you for that. Yes, yes. Well, I have seen a lot of the COP29 build-up kind of coverage, and there's been emphasis on different things. For example, Azerbaijan is utterly unfit to host the UN's climate change conference, talking about the hypocrisy of an oil-rich nation hosting this conference and blah, blah, blah. Or, for example, we could follow up on a previous New World Next Week story. Remember that scientists had discovered, actually, plants are absorbing 31% more CO2 than we thought. Well, guess what? For the second time in a week, climate scientists surprised with an increased CO2 absorption mechanism. This time, it's the oceans seem to be swallowing up 7% more CO2 than previously thought. So, well, let's add that up. How much now are they off by their estimates, and why should we believe what the weather is going to be like in the year 2100? But anyway, also, we could also point to stories like this one. Science shock. UK Met Office is inventing temperature data from 100 non-existent stations. Somebody using a Freedom of Information request, harkening back to my recent Solutions Watch episode, got the list of temperature stations that the UK Met Office is using to put their temperature records together, and lo and behold, 100 of the stations don't even exist. They're totally making it up, fabricating data. So, excuse me, I can barely contain myself when it comes to stories like this, because it goes to show the entire thing is an absolute scam, top to bottom. Luckily, everyone knows that. And so we get stories like this one. Celebrate! The world is ignoring the UN emissions edicts. Global CO2 emissions are increasing to record levels. China fakes being green as it still burns more coal than the rest of the world. And you can look at the numbers, and pretty much every major developed nation, CO2 production is still going up. So, yay! People don't care. They're not. Who cares? Again, it's like the FANG going nuclear. We need the power for AI, so who cares? We can mouth the green platitudes. But this article that we're talking about here, this press release, which you just so admirably read, is, I think, the real point of all of this. It has nothing to do with saving Mother Earth. Absolutely nothing. They're inventing temperature data. They're ignoring the CO2 emissions limits because that doesn't matter at all. What matters is the giant green trough, the multi-trillion-dollar trough that they are creating right now, that they are creating the entire climate finance system around. And it's about the monopolization of the world's resources for their benefit. And who are they? It's everyone who's not us. And that, of course, includes all the John Kerrys and John Podestas and whoever seems to be in that nexus right now. But in the next administration, I'm sure it will mouth the kind of platitudes, hey, screw the UN, we don't need them anymore. But, hey, does anyone remember back in whatever it was, 2017, or when Trump pulled out of the Paris Agreement, and at that time, Musk quit the advisory board in protest? Because he couldn't... I'm old enough to remember when Musk was the trendy hipster liberal, as opposed to the trendy hipster dark MAGA guy that he's pretending to be right now. Anyway, as I say, we have 4 years to document what's going to happen as a result of all of this. But the point is, they're creating the trough right now, and it's a total, complete fraud. They don't even pretend to believe it, but they think you are stupid enough to believe it. But James, we know that the audience is smarter than that, and they can see through this crap like we can.
Oh God! What are they going to do to Ron Paul? They're pulling him into the Trump orbit. Good grief, James. As somebody said this morning in my chat, Chalice said it in the chat. I was playing clips from from the defeat and the calls and C-SPAN and the speeches and all that stuff. Somebody, Chalice said in my chat, the climate doesn't need you to stand up for it. The climate, I think as St. Carlin said, the planet is going to be just fine and maybe doesn't need you to go out of your way to try and help it. Same thing as, we talk about bands. Man, I like bands that didn't tell me to vote or how to vote or what medicine to get to be allowed to see them in concert. And the same thing, James, I don't need worldwide NGO climate scams to gaslight me into knowing that wasting food or littering is a sin. Those are already things good, regular people know about. And hopefully we can continue to document these things, James. For now, over 15 years here in Media Monarchy. I need to wrap this thing up. I got to go check on Mark Hamill. James, you gotta grant us a little bit of the laughs here over in the States. It's a lot of build up, and you gotta have some jokes to kind of come down as the New World Next Week laugh. NewWorldNextWeek.com is your source for Corbett Report toques. James, I do believe we just got in a big box of
the big frag. Down to just Westmelon here. He's now been spotted out. I don't know that he's really going to be able to work his way in. I think there's a kit dropped on the site itself, but surely now that he has been found, he's going to really struggle to make this work. But a clean kill onto Bentep brings it down to the 1v1. Where's he looking? Where is this final player? Doesn't rightly know. Not got a lot of time to work with, and well, Shine's played it very, very well, hidden super far back. Kit has been retrieved. Smoke is a little desperate, but I think Shine's got this one in the bag. Just play that time and finds the head for good measure. Alter Ego will kick things off.
It came down to the IGLs in that one. Alter Ego do manage to find that round. Yeah, it was not so hard there from Sign. I mean, him just locking up in the corner and being like, no, I'm going to wait on you. Potentially seeing the kit drop on the floor as well, knowing that, okay, this is going to be the only chance I have in the round. I think if that smoke was covering onto the bomb a little bit more, he might have just jumped on and stuck it, but you need to clear that CT angle and just hold it off just in case. The complete lack of information there from Envision did not work out in their favour. Buy up here from Alter Ego, and we're seeing absolutely nothing here from the CT side other than a 5-man commitment over towards that A-bomb side. Bentet's going to be the only person holding ready, potentially waiting for this, and well, if he goes for a swing, his rifle out, it could go very wrong. But AK in tow, here's the steps, does get overwhelmed by Westmelon. That is going to be one of the two AKs, or one of the only AKs, sorry, recovered for the CT side. 2 Galils and 2 MAC-10s remaining. Alter Ego just looking to bolster up that economy a little bit more and potentially grab that AK back into their own hands.
Yeah, kind of a big deal, I think, finding that AK. In the same vein, Alter Ego do not want to lose any more players. So, yeah, Envision should be able to get away with that AK, and Alter Ego are going to have to watch themselves ever so slightly. Just the little things, isn't it? You know, that AK isolated by itself. As now there is potential for the damage, you know? It's scary stuff now.
I almost would have liked Bentet to just fully commit onto that angle as well. Like, we saw him jiggle peek the first, find that open kill, and just get completely... Like, it's evident that there's going to be more bodies there if you've seen no information towards B and you spot out at least 2. So just go for the swing. Hold down left mouse click and just see who you can span down, because even if you find 2 there, then it's a little bit more of economic damage over towards that CT side, a bit of kill bonus as well, but... does only get 1 for his troubles and, well, is now down onto that lowly Galil. Util to boot across the board for Alter Ego, though. Envision going to be repaying it back in kind as well, as they bought up 2 rifles. Find that CT round. A lot of of early util to be able to hold off and stave this push on to that B-bomb site. Dobu, he's going to the first base, but they're going to see flying in the corner, taken down. Spam from Zaka, and he's not going to be good for any of them. It's Westman who has to pick up the pieces there, taking down Dobu and Zayn. Has to fall back as he's low on HP and low on bullets in the mag. Bomb does get planted. In this 3 versus 3, it's a pretty decent post-plant setup for them as well.
Yeah, I like where they're at for sure. Alter Ego. Oh, swinging in. It's Freeman to find the 2-piece. Very well timed. And unfortunately for Linvision, they try and make the play, trying to get themselves into this map, but it just falls flat there, moving through the smoke. I think they probably had to save. When that smoke goes down, it feels, you know, not very nice, I suppose, is a good way of putting it. A safe way of putting it, but you do just have to kind of stomach it from time to time on the Linvision side, unfortunately.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a one-man show on Linvision right now. You got Zaka flying on 0 frags, Fufu on 1, and Westman on 5. The primary fragger and leading from the front from an IGL perspective as well. Amelia also joining them on the single fragging department. So a little more work needed here from Linvision, but of course the economy has not been really in their favour for most of these rounds. That previous one was the first one where they had a real buy, and well, honestly, it went worse than their force spikes.
Okay, let's see. There's a bit of something to work with into this round for Linvision. Can they make anything of it? Amelia going to eat so many nades and will be left pretty low. Even lower now. Taking a Mach 10 bullet as well, but no early kill quite yet from Alter Ego. I think they themselves are also tentative. You know, these are the types of rounds where a team that potentially has just run at their opponent to kick the tournament off now is like, well, we're sort of in the lead. We have to be able to play from that controlling position, and they're not quite familiar with it, so just taking it slowly.
Not looking to overextend here. They recognise what sort of position they're in, right? They know that they've got the economic advantage here. That's why we're seeing Dobu go onto that Mach 10 just to be able to bolster up some of that economy. Knows that head armor probably hasn't been afforded on most of these players, and well, he's made the right call. That's the only person with it. Of course, saved the previous round along with that M4. Might be able to get ahead of that Molotov inside of mid and cause some drama inside of Donut, but he's been hurt, and he does manage to find Dope, but a swing out onto this A-bomb site. Ventet finding one, the Fufu and flying with the pistols doing work. Shine now in a 1 versus 4, AK in tow. This is the perfect round for Linvision to be able to get them back into this game. With Zayn being dropped down even further, these USPSs can do some damage, but it's actually the rifles recovered from a Fufu that manages to find that final kill, and Linvision get themselves on the board. A nice setup there, much more regimented from this CT side. Honestly, more of what we expected from them in these first half.
Really well played. I mean, you can kind of feel the vibe going into that round, I think, was slightly off from Alter Ego. Just such a thing, I suppose, as too much respect. Maybe not even respect, though, just sort of like doubt in themselves. And yeah, Linvision are going to capitalize on that. They can smell the fear. And a really, really nice find from them. A massive boost to their game. We'll see if they can, well, convert things. And before even, you know, setting up the round massively, it's a burst forwards here from Alter Ego towards the B-bomb site. Good number of bodies here for Linvision as they will try and hold things down, but it's actually going south. I figured they'd be in such a good spot to stop them rolling in, but not the case at all. The AWP is here a little earlier than they expect, however. He drops 2, including the bomb. Freeman continues being a nuisance, pushing in, looking for those lurk plays, and it is all down to a Fufu who's been spotted. Freeman takes him easily, and a brilliant few rounds this guy is having when it matters.
The first 2 frags on the board there for Zaka, and they were influential, but maybe if he finds a third there, this round is completely different. Linvision, it looked like the retake was clean, but Alter Ego just ready, prepped for it. Akit didn't manage to find a frag with the AWP, and this is something that I think is going to be quite important for him, finding and building up that confidence a bit with the AWP. We know he's their primary AWPer, but yesterday, honestly, dreadful showing against the Mongols. We need to see more from him. And if he can get started early on here, then maybe we see a different side to him. Maybe. See some flourishes of greatness with that weapon in tow, but None to be found as of yet. It's a force buy here for Lin Vision. Zaka once again on the AWP. See if he can make anything stick. It's a pretty respectful setup here from Lin Vision. This 3-man stack towards A, and now they're beginning their rotation into mid as well, completely giving up that B bomb site. Potentially a very good read here. The back of Westmelon. Bentet just holding, waiting for the util to be able to expunge onto the bomb site. He's going to be playing entry here with the AK as well. Wally goes in, and just ahead of it is a Fufu. Going to start burning away, down 17 HP, and does get traded out straight away by Zine. And now with the bomb being planted, Dobo on the back lines as well isn't going to be able to find anything. Lin Vision got to make a retake stick once again, but it looks like the calls that have been made to save Scriv. It's over and done with once again before the round even really started in the retake.
Yeah, just spotted out on the backside, really. Yes, Dobu goes down, but he sees them for his teammates, spotting at least 2 there, I believe. So, yeah, it's enough information that Lin Vision just do not fancy their chances. Alter Ego looking pretty legit here. Some very, very nice rounds. Really well put together. Sort of the scaling into the bomb sites is very, very gradual, not rushed at all. They seem to have capabilities on either side of the map as well, which is a pretty big deal. And Lin Vision are struggling to just make themselves known. I think this is a really similar repeat to the game against Drillers as well, that they didn't quite get themselves going until it was perhaps too late. Need to wake up against Alter Ego here. I think we're in timeout territory, to be honest. Yes, they're having saves and stuff like this, so there's a bit more time to like talk things over for the next round, but I think they do need to take some time, especially if this one doesn't work out. It is most certainly a timeout required.
What we called out yesterday as well is that their CT side was certainly lacking against Drillers. I don't know if it was the B bomb site that was their problem or the A bomb site, but something just wasn't clicking. Sure, they were able to string together those first 3 rounds, but after that, it was the Drillers in the driver's seat. So a bit of a different change of pace here from Lin Vision. A bit more an aggressive stance towards this B-bomb site, and that's what I like to see. Westmelon position going to be revealed as he begins spamming. Zaka finding one, with Westmelon picking up one of his own as well, with the spam onto Dobu. Bentet with the trade, but to open up this A-bomb site once again. And this is something we've been seeing just completely abused round after round now, is there's no aggressive hold on this A-bomb site. We're seeing Alter Ego almost gain it completely for free once they find that opening pick. But Amelia, all the way from CT, is looking to change that. Swings on through, but it's Westmelon from Donut who managed to find that final kill. It's a great retake, but they keep putting themselves in these really awkward positions. I need to be seeing more of them actually holding, committing to this A-bomb site instead of just this solo lurking player who just fades away in the first few seconds of the round.
Yes, indeed. I think, things looking good ultimately. Unfortunately, I think we've had a little bit of a dropout in the game there. So back to us for a moment while we get that one sorted. But, there's worse times to drop out, I suppose. The round was over. We knew which way it was going to go. I think Lin Vision, one of the things that they do have to step up with, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head with it, really, is the fact that they have to up the defense, have to lean into those individuals and a couple of those fraggers that we know that they have. Alter Ego at the moment playing like they are that better side, the firepower is on their side, and sometimes you're going to start to believe it. And Lin Vision, again, there's a lot of conversation around wherever they kind of look, it's like, oh, well, they're missing a star rifler, they're missing someone to join Zaka, and maybe it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if they're not careful. So that certainly feels like part of the approach, the wrong approach at the moment that they have in the early stage of this game, but hopefully things can pick up, because that round was a good example of those names getting involved a little bit and taking over the round.
I just think it comes always at that one step, that one beat too late at this current moment, right? Because I understand that, yes, great, the retake was nice from Lin Vision, but allowing it to get to that point where it's, oh, we've been completely smoked off and we have to push through smokes in CT and through Donut for us to be able to have an opportunity to be able to retake this A-bomb site is like, guys, you can be locking down this site. It's been round after round at this point. The Alter Ego are probing and kind of testing you here, and you've not really risen to the challenge. I would love to see maybe this two-man setup over on A, but being a little more forward. Hold it towards Big Box, and maybe someone a little bit more aggressive in Donut as well, with someone inside a red room, just bolstering that up a little bit more, because B-bomb sites seem to be a little bit of a lock at this point. You don't need to be concerned about that. You've got your two-man hold, but yeah, just sort out your A site, lads. Like, this is where you're getting punished right now. So almost a blessing and a curse that this timeout tactical gets called. Maybe they can reset their mental just a little bit, and Lim Vision hopefully looking to get back into this one and pull forward ahead of Alter Ego, but only time will tell.
Well, indeed, yeah. I think that, kind of on your point of like the A-bomb site, it does seem like Lim Vision are trying to find the balance at the moment. The A site tends to be a very retakeable bomb site, and I think that that's potentially indeed what they're going for. But yeah, you have to find this balance of having a presence and not giving them too much space, or even that it's like they take the bomb site, fully concede, and then you can fully retake. I think we've seen them catch themselves a little bit in between two minds of like, are we stepping off or are we fighting for control, and not every...
What your heart resonates with. Bump stocks. Does your heart resonate with bump stocks? Unfortunately, the right no longer exists. So now we're playing all in.
Hey, no black belt survives that kind of lead.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. Is there anything else to say about Jimmy? Other than, I remember when he was calling people fat on the Ben Stein show. What do you call them? Well, there's a few words that we're all pretty familiar with, but because it doesn't matter. Things like SNL and things like late night talk shows, they don't matter. It's arguable that they ever did. I have no idea. Everything, the numbers are phony, and it's all been like that, but it just doesn't matter. Did he get a script in that required him to weep?
For the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for our allies in Ukraine.
You expect me to sit here across from the screen and believe that that's actually real? Guy's an actor. He's an actor. He's gonna start getting worked up and emotional. He's gonna be weeping on TV. Couldn't hold it back. Dude, are you kidding me? The guy's an actor. It's just stuff for everyone to talk about. Like we're doing it right now, but we might as well be real about it. I deny Jimmy Kimmel's politics. In that, I deny he believes them. I deny that. I deny those tears were for politics. I deny it. It's not real. He's an actor. Don't believe it. He's a fucking actor. Everyone else in that whole crew. Who did he used to be with old Sarah Silverman? She had a good scene in, the one with Ryan Phillippe and Fenster. Usual suspects. Again, blackface Sarah. Hey, that's her business if she wants to do that sort of comedy, honestly. I deny that what comes out of her mouth politically is what she believes. I deny it. And get this, I'll actually die before I don't deny it. I'll die before I believe that all the actors on TV, that's their real politics. It's fake. They're actors. Don't you get it by now? They're actors. They don't influence any people. Who's influenced by Sarah Silverman? She does some good stuff. My favorite was blackface that she did. I just don't believe what they say about their politics is real. I will say it again. They're actors. They play roles and they lie. I don't know what else to call them. Who wants to use the word propaganda anymore? Anyone else? Anyone ever want to use that again? Anyone ever want to use that ever again? So, again, I'll deny it. Just as I deny all history and all science. Hey, if I got to be the only one to do it. I usually do things 10 years ahead of time or 8 years ahead, something like that, and then everyone just does it. But that's okay. Can't be all true. Has to be a little bit true, though. It's all the same stuff. You look in any people's early life, and you look hard enough, and you'll see the validity of bloodlines and conspiracies. What else could you say about Hollywood people? And Jim did some good stuff. I liked when he was pinching that woman's ass.
Tell us what you think of the statue.
And you may think I'm making a joke, that I'm being sarcastic or ironic, but I'm not. I'm saying I appreciate the two jokes, the blackface and the pinching thing. Like anyone who enjoys comedy can appreciate comedy, and they'll actually die before they don't appreciate it. He's doing talk shows for years and years. This time he's crying. He can't hold it back. The feeling of emotion is that intense inside of him. What's he on, fucking pills? What's he drinking or something? What's his deal? Get out of my face with that stuff, actor. Get out of my face with that. But I'm pretty glad about that. People talking about the election or something. I don't know. It's done, I guess. Do you have to keep talking about it? Has that ever happened before? A term in between, 2 terms for a president. Has that ever happened? Grover Cleveland. There it is. You don't usually see things like that too often. I don't know what happened with the term in between. I didn't watch it, or not one single second of it. I actually don't know. Because I'll say it again, as I've said before, the second they ran Joe Biden, I knew that it was faker than even I thought it was. And I was like, whoop, that's it for me. He's president. It's like an episode of Back to the Future, or rather an episode of Silence of the Lambs. Some guy's like, you know who's president in 2020, whatever the heck? I don't even remember. Joe Biden. Excuse me? After the Obama years, he was the joke of the world. You know, his role has always been a joke like that. People like that they're like lightning rods. They take heat off of more important things around. That's why you see people talk about that or RFK. I mean, we'll talk about it too. I'm just saying this and that. And Joe Biden's, he's real dementia. He's crazy. All the stuff about Kamala. I don't know. And then you're like, oh, so there's a new president? No more income tax? Is that what I'm to understand? No more income taxes? Wait, no? Why not? Oh, then once more, the litany. Bump stocks years ago. Then it's the litany of excuses. Why not? For the rest of your life. What matters? Hey, what about the demographics? What about foreigners? What about that? If we could be bold and frank tonight. What about foreigners? You got foreigners coming. Think about it real for a second with me, and we'll skip all the rest of the stuff. You know what I'm saying, though? You get what I'm saying? There's foreigners coming into your country. Like, think about it for a second. Yo, what about that? What about the foreigners at the daycares and all the schools with the kids in and you could say a million things again. Do they know they're being a bioweapon rat people? Do they know that? It's a rhetorical question. Who cares? Who knows what? Doesn't matter. When it hits the fan, we're all susceptible to the same dangers. So what about that? There's a new president. We're gonna drain the swamp. How'd that go? You gonna drain the swamp? Bump stocks. Yo, you gonna drain the swamp? Actually, bump stocks. What else? Wailing Wall. Oh. What else? Glowing orbs in Arabia. What else? 666 Fifth Avenue. Chabad. And you're like, yo. Okay, so in other words, this next term, we're going to do it again. You're going to drain the swamp? What about foreigners? Well, you see. Oh, what about income taxes? Oh, well, you see. Oh, I see. The same lines that your parents got. The same lines that your grandparents got. The same lines that your great-grandparents got. So, but hey, we're going to have to laugh about it. We have no choice. So you're going to argue for the rest of your life on the pros and cons of foreigners coming into your country. That's going to be the rest of your life, the pros and cons of it. No, but there's a lot of cons. But what about you're gonna be going back and forth like that for the rest of your life until you're like this, like when like the electricity's off and people the water's poisoned, everything, and you're like this. Yeah, you got a cigarette. Yeah, harvest time. Enjoy. Doing a freaking live action narc movie. Bump stocks. So, what else is there? We've identified the things. What are the things that are ruining your life? Foreigners coming to your country, of course. I mean, it's not open for debate. There's the gas chamber door. If you want to, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. It's not even open for debate. What about income tax? What about, oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, that's slutty. That's really slutty. You know what's really ruining my life, though, is income tax. You know what's really ruining your life right now? All the housing is going to foreigners. And who buys up the land and the houses? Wait, let me guess. Foreigners. Who's buying all the land? Oh, foreigners. No problem. We're all children of God. We're all brothers in Christ, aren't we? That means we're all children, so whatever. Now, look, I'm tackling these things the way they need to be tackled. Because you can't, it's not a personal thing that's happening right now. You're seeing military campaigns. So there's no point in being, having your empathy or your rage or whatever the hell hijacked from you. And you're like, we talk about these things in terms of strategy, very strategic terms only. I'm just saying those are the things that are happening. Strategy and reality. I don't say hate whoever the hell's moving in. It doesn't matter to me at all. It's not them. It's being made to happen by the military. You know how it goes. Who's got the monopoly on violence? Dude, these things are made, these are military campaigns. But anyway, those two things, just like income tax, what do you think that is? That's a military campaign because you'll end up dead or in jail if you stop paying. What branch of government is that? Well, sir, it's the military branch that is in control of it. Because the bullets are what are used against you, or jail time is what is used against you. That's force by violence. Housing, why can't you get anything? Oh, they're moving everyone in. You've never seen Dr. Zhivago? Have you ever read Dr. Zhivago or watched the movie? You didn't know they've done that before? Moved in the bums and the foreigners into hotels, and then the next step is your house, your own house if you have a big house with empty rooms? What? You didn't watch? You didn't read Dr. Zhivago? You don't know that that's already been done before? The precedent's already been set? You don't know that? Wow! Who did that? The Bolsheviks. The who? I mean, I'm just saying that's just how it is. We could put in the movie right now, and as it goes on, you can see the doctor's family has neighbors inside the house after the commies took over. It can't happen here? Is that right? It's never happened anywhere, only in fiction. Really? What about the Russian Revolution? I don't know. I don't even know what the excuses are. The Tsar was a tyrant. The Tsar created the famine as, who knows what they say? First of all, I don't even know if the Tsar existed. I don't know. Or the family. I have no idea. I'm just saying. I refuse to deal in absolutes or absolute presumptions. I refuse. So there's that. I've been enjoying that poster of the chicken and the Tsar family for many years now. I just didn't. Who wants to talk about a ritual murder of children in a family? Like, you guys want to talk about that? Oh, that sounds. Hey, I've been doing some research. You know what? What do you guys want to talk about that? No, I never wanted to talk about that stuff. Who wants to know that stuff? Stingray? Allow me to enjoy that, but I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you things that damage you if you are living empathetic thing? Why would I? It's way too dark. It's not good. Anyway, all different sort of excuses why these things happen, but we all know it's not for economic. Let's say in Russia, when they were putting all the bums and whoever the hell they were importing or trying to get them to molest your family or kill your family by forcing them inside your house. Like, who knows? I don't know what the criteria was, but they probably emptied the asylums and put them in people's houses. Death machinery does things like that. It's nothing personal. It's biblical tribal warfare. It's either tribes of whatever the heck or competing species that you don't know. You don't even know. You have no idea. You just don't know anything, is what I'm trying to say. There are only certain things you can know. There are a few things that you know for sure, okay? We play a different game. I don't know what kind of reasoning it is because I'm just an idiot. There are certain things that are irrefutable. I like to deal in irrefutables, not whatever word I used a second and a half ago. Things you know for sure. They don't want women having children. Look at the policies. Look at everyone has to work. We could go on about, generally, you know what I'm saying? They don't want certain demographic of people having children. It's irrefutable. By hook or by crook, these things are done by way of deception. We all know that by now. They'll fool the women into wanting to compete against the men and, I don't know, make money and pay taxes and stuff like that. They do these things in devious ways. Because if they came out straight up outright and did it, they would be swept away. They would be swept away. No matter what God is behind them, they would be swept away. That thing's done. These things have to be done in this way. Otherwise, people would notice, and they would get violent, and they would sweep the people away. And that's irrefutable. I'm excited. It's irrefutable. Look anywhere around the world. Maybe even in Lebanon, for example, or I don't know where else. I don't know where most people are. The fact that Christians specifically are marked for death is irrefutable. I didn't say Jews. I didn't say Muslims. I didn't say Hindus. I didn't say anything else. I said Christians are irrefutably marked for death. I'm listing out issues that actually matter. Issues that actually ruin and end your life is what I am litanying right now. Another one is the fair complexion. The fair complexion are not allowed to have a homeland. They're marked for death. We all know that. I don't know if it's a holdover from Atlantis. I don't know if it's warring tribes of Israel or whatever country you want to name it. I don't know if it's competing species. I don't know, because it's gay. The truth you always fantasizing about and looking for, like in the X-Files, guess what? I got news for you. Truth's gay. It's about as gay as politics, knowing the truth about everything. Take it from me. And I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just fast forwarding you all. You think I'm wrong? Anyone in here think I'm wrong? I'm just saying the quest for things is meaningless. Certain things. But those are irrefutable. There's a lot of stuff that's irrefutable. Housing. Why is rent the way it is? Why are houses the way they are? Why is gas the way it is? Why are utilities the way they are? Why is inflation the way it is? Why are groceries the way it is? Those things bottleneck your potential. When you bottleneck earning potential, you diminish the total life. So you guys don't get these things, but they're actually murder. Well, you probably do get these things. Financial warfare, someone shafting you or an entity shafting you and destroying opportunity or stealing from you, it's actually murder. So there are no civilians. That's all. What do you think about that? Anybody talk about those things? Has anybody, the White House been talking about any of those things? Which factors? Is it racism or phobia this or ism that or whatever? Or are the factors that straight up destroy your life without you even knowing? Because they're just taken for granted. Oh, that's how it is. Like potholes and safety and free. It's not free, man. Like people have no idea. They will though. If we're talking about it right now, they will. You have to, Kino. You have to be gay in politics. You have to. It's the way it is. On the Senate floor, shooting gay tapes. Well, the gay community is a bit spicy. So spicy, they got to take meds. Hey, we're all children of God, brothers in Christ. The gay people that watch this love the jokes like that. How could gay people not love any jokes that I say? You got to understand, I'm dealing with comedy that is transcendent. Well, okay, we got RFK. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to hear his voice, so I can't watch the video. It says, though, RFK vows to clear out the FDA. There's another one. There is actually another one. The insane ways that you're fooled and or forced into paying for the products that reduce your lifespan and make you weaker. But what's he going to do? Start increasing the quality of the food? Oh, wait. I bet that's likely. Again, what incentive is there for a government to increase the quality of the food? Anybody? Anyone have a good answer? What, because they love you and they're going to cry if they don't? Depends what world you live in. It depends what world you live in. It depends how you view the world. That's your politics, right? How you view the world. Don't they kind of describe it as that? What's politics mean? Oh, that's how you view the world. Really? How do you view income taxes? Dude, if there was no military, you'd be speaking German right now. You'd be getting raped and everything. It'd be Mad Max times 50 in the streets, man. Really? I'm not arguing for no military. That's a big cookie. Is the military industrial complex? You want to talk about that? Nah. Just look at the way Eisenhower looks in his picture. That's all you need to know about Eisenhower. You think he's a good guy? What did he do for a living? Killed Germans? Think he's one of the good guys? Like Reagan's one of the good guys. Open up the asylums. Let them all out. That's what happens. What's his background? He's the head of the Screen Actors Guild. Reagan was a bad guy. Eisenhower, he was one of the bad guys. Roosevelt, he was one of the bad guys. Get it? It's just how it works. Who are the good guys? Who are the good guys? you could put forth, you could infer that those who were fired and sabotaged and suicided were the good guys. Douglas MacArthur, George Patton. Now you know who the good guys are. Patton. We all know this by now, don't we? FDR. Yeah, Teddy, I don't know anything about him other than survived an assassination attempt and still lost the election after, for a second term. Very strange with Teddy. He looked like an alien. There's something wrong. But FDR was definitely not, he was not one of the good guys. And you could tell because he was a gimp in a wheelchair pretending to be president for 4 terms. Dude, is that Stephen Hawking? That's a bit Stephen Hawking-esque. That's how you know they're actors. Again, another actor. He's the president. He's gimped out in a wheelchair. He's got blankets over him. He's the president? Really? Well, you see, there would have been panic, or it would have been bad for morale had the wheelchaired gimp stepped down, and it would have been pandemonium in the streets. The morale, we would have lost the war. The Nazis would have won. Who knows what would have happened if that would have happened? The Japanese would have bombed New York if we would have shown any weakness instead of letting the wheelchair gimp be in office for 4 terms. He's in hell right now, burning in hell. Any questions? U.S. History 101. I don't take any of that shit from no gimp. Lucky I don't know anything about him at all. That's how it happens sometimes. The good guys. So that's how I feel about even Eisenhower. Eisenhower was pretty good. I don't remember what he did. Designed freeways, right? How's that working out? There it is. He started NASA. He's the one that, as far as I know, coined the term military-industrial complex. He creates it, but then he's like this. He's coining it and warning everyone on the way out. Dude, why don't you warn everyone and do something about... Oh, no. What's next? What the hell is next? You ever wonder that? The military is a hard sell. I mean, it's a hard sell for most people to understand that all of the nations are like they're on the same team, yet they war with each other. Like people, it's really hard for someone who's unfamiliar with atrocity to understand that. It's not possible. Not possible for most people to understand that. You know how world events are. War is forever. Yeah, remember how similar they looked? All the World War I nations? Don't you remember George and the Kaiser and the Tsar? Like, I don't even remember who's who, but they looked like clones. It's crazy. All they did was the last 150 years or whatever the heck it is, 200 years or whatever, I don't know. All it is dismantling and hiding of the past. The dismantling of the strength of people and transferred to Nimrod's system or an occupied tyranny, an panopticon prison, a spiritual battleground. It does matter how you define these things, what clicks in your mind, or what your heart resonates with. Bump stocks. Does your heart resonate with bump stocks? Unfortunately, the right no longer exists. Now also understand this, bump stocks. If you knew how afraid these people were of the people, you would be shocked. Otherwise, why would they bother banning bump stocks? It's really crazy. But enough about bump stocks. Why would they ban them if they weren't crying and pissing their pants, knowing that one day the war will be lost and the wickedness will go down to the pit? How do you spend your life like that? Yikes! Yikes! Spending your life like that, waiting for the pit? Yikes! No thanks. So there it is. Oh, it happened after so the bumps happened after the Vegas hotel thing that happened for no reason that there was no resolution on, right? Well, we're all familiar with the MO by now, right? Like, what happened in Vegas? Nothing. What are you, racist? What are you, going to be a problem? No, we just want to know. You going to be a problem? We just want to know what happened in Vegas. You going to be a problem?
Everybody like, are we visual information to work with and are just playing a really loose game So another retake going to be required when you're on the lesser weaponry. It's not going to be easy. One of the plays of all time gives Westmelon 2. And Freeman now, kind of that last hope, not going to happen. Dobu too far away from things. But yeah, I kind of see it in this round. You're on the low buy or whatever. But as you sort of talked about, if you're going to buy into things, you do have to have a game plan. For me, both teams, you've got a lack of mid-aggression, a lack of lane aggression, and they're just not conditioning anything. You know, they're really, really playing to the tune of the other team. And unfortunately for Alter Ego, they're right at the tail end of the game now. They cannot afford to let Lin Vision take control.
It's a nice frag from Dobu, but mistraded straight back from Zaka. I like that you called out the lane aggression as well, because this is something that we were highlighting yesterday in that Mongols game against Alter Ego. That Techno was able to find so much space purely just by being that solo lane player and just being thorn in the side, both on the CT side and on that T side. And maybe lessons to be learned from both of these two teams on the server right now from the way that he plays that. Have your extremities player locate over there. Be that pain in the arse, essentially, to your opponents and make them have to respect it. As of right now, Alter Ego are respecting absolutely nobody, but way too much. There is never someone over towards lane, and they're always committing at least 2, maybe 3, hell, even 4 players to a B-bomb site that doesn't get presence. This round so far has been the exception. We're finally seeing some aggression here from Linvision over towards B and mid. Shine finally takes a fight, does find a Fufu, but it's traded straight back by Amelia because there's no one else to back them up. This 3-man setup over towards this B bomb site is going to come head-to-head against Freeman and Dobu, who are now already falling off the bomb site off the back of only seeing Amelia inside of mid. They've given up the bomb site once again. Aid Kit's this random anomaly that they don't know anything about, but even if he just finds Amelia, he should be coming to his team, and he is. He is now saying, guys, the A bomb site's completely clear. Please do not give up on B as of yet. But now the double backs come on in. Lin Vision and Amelia ready to deploy on A. Oh my god, Aid Kit, how have you missed him? Amelia's looking for someone. He's looking for ghosts. He's hunting down anyone that he can. He rips the head clean off the shoulders of Aid Kit, and now the A bomb site's lost. Lin Vision are in the heads. They're reading the tea leaves. They can see the future of what Alter Ego are going to do. And as of right now, all they can see is victory. It's going to be a 12th round on the board here for Lin Vision, and Alter Ego have thrown away what was a huge lead.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Really just sits together as, you know, a very, very, very telltale kind of round, I think. Lin Vision are tapping into that higher plane that they're capable of. And yeah, it's very, very clean Counter-Strike, finding those gaps, communicating very well, and that is something that Alter Ego are lacking. They will manage to mount together a pretty nice save in the end, I guess. But ultimately, this is looking like a Lin Vision Ancient here, and then that Dust 2 coming up next is very, very scary.
I would care more about Alter Ego finding those flags if Lin Vision didn't have 13 and 14k on the players. Like, legit. Like, obviously Lin Vision don't go for that push if that's the case, but like, it's too little too late at this point from Alter Ego, I'm feeling. The buy here is certainly not as advantageous as they would have liked. We're seeing 3 premium rifles and MP9s, and yes, while damage has been done with those, it's certainly not the weaponry that they would have liked. Bentec was off the bomb site already, and Zine needs to execute Westmelon, and he's not able to do so. Drops him down to 26 HP, and that's all she wrote for him. Westmelon, angle being held, apparently jumping in the air is the new strat here to be able to find out A-Kid as he picks him out the sky. Clay pigeon shooting this time round. They need the backup. They need to come through. From a kick perspective, there's only 2, and that's on Freeman and Benta. They need to be the faces that execute onto this bomb site, and they're all coming from CT. A single choke point that can be shut down by Amelia at a moment's notice. They're deploying here. The spray comes through. He takes down 1 onto Dobu. The second he swings on out, he needs to be able to get the control, and he does, to be able to spray down A-Kit, who's zoned onto the bomb site, and a Fufu.
Oh my god.
Try some of that.
What's
that?
Honeymoon
Some biscuits?
chocolates. Whoa. Sweetened with raw honey.
Look at these.
Yeah, I brought biscuits for everybody.
Petite biscuit au chocolat.
Yeah, I brought chocolate.
Oh, French.
Yeah.
Look at you, bro.
Hey, I can't be without food.
Honeymoon chocolates. I like that. That's a good name. Honeymoon.
Isn't it kind of nice? And it's no sugar. It's just honey. It's a different texture.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't have like a powdery
No,
texture.
it's weird. This one might be coffee, so it might have some sort of a coffee texture. But no, it doesn't have the weird sugar, like powdered texture that you get
It's
with
powdered.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's prisoner.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Bud Light first started getting on for the gay stuff?
Oh
Whatever.
yeah, the rainbows and
There was
the
one
guy
post
in the
that
tub.
was because people like right wing memers were calling it semen.
Oh God.
And there was one screenshot that was so funny. It was someone had searched for semen, and there was this one account that had posted like a dozen times, Bud Light semen. Hope you like drinking semen. Like 20 posts that are just like, fuck that semen.
He did it single-handedly.
Yeah, he was going in on it.
That was a wild thing when that happened.
Yeah, it was.
Like putting the like
I thought it was a bit ballsy. It's like Schwarzenegger with the cigars.
Ballsy
It's a ballsy.
of who? Bud Light?
No,
Yeah.
it's pretty ballsy to.
I totally forgot this. Dylan Mulvaney.
yeah.
yeah.
all
don't forget
I
him.
remembered was that Bud Light got in trouble for some.
No, he had the heels on. He was in the tub.
got some LGBTQ thing. I didn't even.
Getting buzzed on Bud Light.
To be fair, I don't drink beer, so the world of like sports and beer goes over my head. But nevertheless, I'd totally forgotten this person existed. What a freak
treat!
show.
What a
Good
treat!
God.
What a treat they is. No, it's pretty antithetical to their brand in general. So it was really like a big fuck you to everyone. And even though people, they voted with their wallets or whatever, they'll try it again in a few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think is it true that Toyota is not doing LGBTQ stuff anymore?
really.
That'd be sweet.
I would love to see Toyota make it a
Straights
a
only car.
legendary run.
those-
I would,
It's
man.
got a plow in the front to kill.
If there's a brand that could do a legendary run right now,
Toyota's the one.
it would be Toyota. I'm not saying they're gonna. I don't think they will. But man, if they did, that would make my heart
They
pulse,
could sing.
pulse with pride,
Yeah, well, it's just the way.
gay pride.
Bud Light is a bit rough. Ever since they switched to rickshaw rice for their fermenting, I said, man,
Oh, they switched to rice for their.
Yeah.
rickshaw rice.
What is that? That's a joke.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought that
It is rice.
but they
though.
switched to rice.
there is a chance that there's a real thing called rickshaw rice that
No.
people use for fermenting.
Yeah.
It's probably Rick Shaw,
Richard Shaw. Richard Shaw.
Dick
right?
Shappy,
Hell yeah.
Dick Shaw.
Wow. Wow. Rickshaw rice is a thing. Holy shit.
Shit, that's a really nice. I love rickshaws.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Here, Nick.
Isn't that a taste? Try it.
Good. Is it honey sweet?
Go see.
It's a treat. Because I was bringing a lot of treats for us to all try on the road, but they all came so late. There was no time. It didn't fit out right. But they had the chocolate-covered honeycomb that I thought would have been maybe interesting in the green room.
That's delicious.
Isn't that taste?
That's probably the best chocolate I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm pleased about it. I have to put in an order, get a case delivered.
Honeymoon.
Isn't it nice? I like it.
You're
and
right.
the chocolate-covered honeycomb is really tasty.
The consistency is superior.
Yep.
Hi guys, I am sorry, I am in your landlord's toilet pipes, but I have to tell you, Sam, Nick and Charles are touring the country.
I had a ley lines for you. I
Yeah?
had a good ley lines video in here. I just sent it to Chris.
Oh, whoa. Is this some energy?
know
Did
what
you
it
figure
was.
out a technique to eat the
Oh,
energy
this-
somehow?
This was the Duke Energy.
Oh.
That North Carolina flood.
Oh.
You guys seen any of this stuff?
Oh.
These hurricanes that are going on, these natural disasters that we're getting hit with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Duke Energy. Now, Duke Energy has always been used in movies. That's how you know it's real. Duke Energy, I think, was used in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, Freemason.
All right.
And that North Carolina dam was opened up and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. They have no insurance. 1% of the, there's rumors going around that 1% of the leveled houses have flood insurance. Only 1%. These people are going to be fucking jammed. You're jammed. You're totally fucked.
What the fuck?
Imagine that. You have no insurance. You have homeowner insurance.
When was North Carolina flooded?
a week ago?
Really?
You didn't hear about that?
Oh my god!
It's crazy.
Damn.
15 feet up, like streets, Asheville, North Carolina, completely wrecked, leveled out.
Shocking.
Weren't we just there?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No flood insurance. Zero people had flood insurance. It was like out of nowhere. It'd be like if you got flooded. They'd be like, well, I never knew I needed flood insurance. I was like, yeah. Well, can I get any money? They're like this. No.
Damn.
You have no, oh, your shit's gone? Oh, yeah, fuck you.
Damn.
My car's
A
gone.
lot of
Fuck you.
damage
Oh, you still
left
owe money on
behind
it?
with
Yeah.
all the mud,
Dude.
that came up out of the rivers and washed across the street.
So it was a controlled demolition again.
100%. I mean, if
Displacement.
Look,
Oh my God.
look at the awning right there on that brick building. That's up to the awning.
It's not even near the coast. It's western North Carolina, which is strange.
What the fuck?
They say quartz mining for data for chips. They say there was in March they came out. BlackRock finds the biggest quartz deposits in the mountains. This is a land grab.
Yeah, I do remember that, the quartz.
Yeah. And they say they can make chips with quartz.
Wow.
What's the power of quartz?
I think it's. I was reading a while ago that it stores data, that you can use it to store data, but I'm sure it's used in other machines with.
They give us a watch?
Oh, no, it's something else. It's some conductive.
Everybody that gets their house destroyed gets a free quartz watch.
Free nice quartz watch.
Dude.
I thought that was right up your alley. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
They're flooding, and then obviously this is fun. The American ley lines.
No insurance.
You like ley lines, right? Like,
yeah, I really do.
This is a good one.
Slave latitude.
Hell yeah. Some of them is go back to some of the titles on these. Like, I mean, this is where you realize I'm a retard, but look at the names of some of these.
Pilot Mountain Wheel.
And then go to the next one. Right there. Sexual Lake Titicaca. Base of spine, like root chakras and ley lines.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I don't know. When you start thinking about that, you start thinking about like, not golem factories, but like a house for God or something, or made in the image of like the plane we live on. If we're looking at ley lines and chakras, it's like it's something very strange. Like it's hard to think about.
Is that demonic?
I don't know. All the yoga and Kundalini stuff does it. It gives me a weird vibe. Like I don't like it. The yoga stuff, the transcendental meditation, even meditation. A lot of that stuff, the most of the new age shit or the spiritualism. It bothers me. Even yoga and that stuff. Something about it bothers me. I don't like it.
It's not meant for a Western man.
No. I don't like it.
Stay away from that shit.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah, no, I understand, because the only people that are into it are fucking fats at like Burning Man and shit like that.
Or bearded gurus like, I can walk on water. Do it now. Nah. I mean, like I haven't eaten in 30 years. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like hoovering McDonald's with the guy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. He's like, oh yeah, I control my energy with my breathing. And I mean, hey, maybe there's a lot of stuff possible. You can control a lot of things in your body with your mind, but that the obsession to me with the absolute controlling of chakras and energy and this godhood stuff, it does seem like a misdirection, and just to activate people's OCD and trying to like regulate themselves or something. It seems like you can become a god, you can control your energy. It seems weird. You're doing this pose, you're doing chants. And look, I'm ignorant on most of this stuff.
I think it's best left ignored.
I think so.
And it's definitely not for the white man.
No.
If it's for anyone.
No. Yeah, it's just something, there's blue-skinned demons.
If some Indian guy
heads.
wants to do it, that's fine with me. But if it's not for the white man, no.
Not fine with me, because he's making them come into dealerships and bust my balls.
Yeah, and you get into Jim Carrey territory.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
It's like this. Yeah, you're jerking off. You just don't nut. And look, I like the semen retention, but just like Jim Carrey, he's talking about orgasms and stuff. That's so fucking nasty. But it's like that, like all these weird, like trying to regulate yourself like a fucking animal.
No,
it's not for us.
That's
man.
like a lift the fucking weights thing. Like
It's like, hey, watch this. Semen. I'll rope the semen just like nothing. Watch this. I learned to do that through meditation. It just, I don't like it.
Nope. No
That's
good.
Funny though, buddy. Oh, Puff Daddy, no, Jay-Z's nervous. He's saying,
I saw was there a lawsuit? Is that real? Did he sue Piers Morgan? Can you type in Jay-Z Piers Morgan lawsuit and see if that's real?
That's good.
Should have sued the guy who did his lip fillers.
To block the Jaguar right stuff.
I've been saying Jaguar right for 2 years.
You have been.
And everybody's saying she's retarded.
Piers Morgan apologizes. So this is real. Wow. Okay. So this actually happened here. Wow. Well, we can dig into this next time. Hopefully there'll be some dirt coming out.
They're not going to stop using they dirty dicks on anything that moves.
No. Those white parties. Turns out they're brown parties.
Right. I know. I can't wait. We got to get into the one on. We got to throw. We got to get a paintball gun.
House of the Rising Sun.
Go to the Greenwich one.
Didn't he buy that in Louisiana? That the house that the song was based on from the animals. House of the Rising Sun. Didn't they go out of their way to live in that house or something? Anyway.
Really?
There's something. Yeah, something like that. Louisiana, New Orleans, rather.
Oh yeah, she owns. They own a fertility clinic in the Philippines or something like that. They do some weird shit with fertility.
That's kind of weird. Fertility clinics.
Yeah, no,
it's kind of weird. Oh, she's famous for the deflating baby bump in her stomach.
Yeah,
I always knew Jay-Z was some kind of fat freak.
Yeah,
never listened to him once.
No,
he's not it. It's crazy how he's like black people think he's like the one.
Rockefeller.
Doesn't make sense.
There it is, right there. Yeah,
he's definitely not the one. He's a fucking.
Yeah. He's corny. His Black Album was the peak thing in 2004. It was been all downhill since then. He's corny.
This is the last link you sent.
Yeah, this is just a long. This is like where you ever hear like, you guys don't believe in otherworld Illuminati stuff, right?
I mean, I believe in the cabal. I don't know if they call themselves. I don't know what they call themselves.
Well, they say there's like a split, right? And like, it's like.
I mean, competing factions over the years.
Factions that say like the Italians, like the Italians, like the Orsinis and the. There's a bunch of families. Sam Tripoli's got like the guys.
Yep.
He's got like the same one. I think Sam Tripoli and Kurt knows. I don't know if he's big on the Illuminati as much as he is on like the religious aspect. I don't know what Kurt's. You're into the same stuff that Kurt's into.
Yeah, he knows a lot. It's crazy to get down with that stuff.
I think Sam Tripoli's into the same. The Santos Bonacci guy's the guy, but I don't know how he's alive. If he's like still, that's
if you know their names, then they're not part of anything.
Yeah,
like the people that would really be a risk to lose. They wouldn't have a name. You wouldn't be able to identify or find them.
Right.
Just generally speaking.
That's why I like the Italian stuff, because you don't know these guys. You've never heard these names out in public. These are not England. They're like always like Grey Pope, Orsini, shit like that.
It's like Vatican London or DC or something like that.
Big Vatican, big London, old French names like France. What's that one? The
Merovingians or something.
Yeah.
Those sons of bitches or whatever. I don't know. From the Matrix.
They're fucking no. It's
the Bubbas.
The Bubbas.
The Boulay Society.
The Boulay. It's just the blacks. But yeah, I don't know. It's just basically saying like these are the people that say like Trump's standing in front of a flag without laurels on it. So it's
it's not maritime law because it doesn't have the gold.
Right,
the gold border.
That kind of shit. So they're saying
Admiralty law. Yeah,
coup d'etats are going on as we speak.
Yeah, there's tribunals executing all of the baby rapers.
Yes.
I bet.
Like the Diddy stuff, which we haven't even talked about.
We replaced Diddy with a clone because it would get people too fired up if we told them we executed people like that.
It would get people too fired up.
Yeah. Oh no, it would collapse the world. So we actually we execute him in a military tribunal, QAnon underground military tribunal, and we got an actor out there just so people don't lose their minds. Are you fucking kidding me, man? There's billionaires. They're going to jail.
What was the Democrat version of QAnon? There was one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
True Eagle or something.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It didn't take off. I just saw like a few Facebook posts, but there was like something. There was
imagine
parallel
cooking that up.
It's awesome.
It's so crazy.
I doubt it would even be Googleable, but it was really funny. It was really.
kit with the AWP in his hands. 4 kills to his name. Already a substantially better start than what we've seen from him across both maps on Ancient. Looking to continue this trend as round number 5 continues. It's Freeman to find that opening kill onto Flying, though, to be able to rip an AK out of the clutches of a Lin Vision player. Dobu, aggressive angle on this corner, and hopefully he's far enough back where that suppressor isn't swinging on through. Flash does go out, though, from Bentet. And the AWPer of Zaka taken down. It's an incredibly influential player to take out of the round. Hasn't really been able to get started so far. Dobu looking to repay the favor for his teammate. He plays Flash now. Bentet going to be looking for the head, but not able to find anything. It's Westmelon ripping it clean off his shoulders. Are they going to clear Goose? As of right now, no. Dobu reveals his position, but not going to be good for the second. Not able to find anything here. Zayn, close angle. He needs to be cautious about to spot out anyone on this bomb site, but Westmelon pushes on through to be able to rip him in twain. Now in a 3 versus 2, Freeman and Aid Kit over on that B bomb site on an island, basically not able to commit into this round, and it's Lin Vision with the full buy toting down mid. They secure A.
It will be that. Little chaotic. A few oversteps. Dobu taking the swing. Potentially not needed, you know, dedicate to the crossfire. Molotov did come in. It didn't quite reach him in the end. Maybe he thought it was going to. That's the moment for me that stands out. Lin Vision, though, pretty simple stuff as they get that execute going. Zaka with a massive game so far, but not necessarily needed in this one. It is Flying as well, I think, that we look towards as being a player that needs a bit more presence. So Lin Vision not going to get away with these types of plays continually. You know, they're going to need that step up from the individuals that we talked about, particularly Zaka, who is yet to have an AWP in hand.
He's got his little brother instead. Scouts available. I think there was an AK on the floor, yeah. He's just going to sell that and recover that instead. Change of pace from the round, it would seem. Sign on long. Back up from Bentet as well. Vision needs to be cautious about taking that approach, as this is a very forward angle for Alter Ego, both over towards A-Long. And honestly, on Short and Cat as well. They've got this full setup locked down, and Lin Vision almost a little bit worried of taking these fights. Not wanting to be overzealous and aggress too quickly. Happy to run that time down. What's down back of the mind of Alter Ego. Util being expended. Still quite a bit available for that CT side. Same cannot be said for the T's, though. They're running on fumes with 4 flashes, a smoke and a molly. As they begin positioning themselves over towards this B bomb site, they're gonna need to be absolutely Dobu picks up a Fufu, flying onto the bomb site, flies on to the bomb site and picks up one. With Amelia inside of mid, trading out Dobu, and with Bentet on the rotate from A-Long, he needs to do some damage. With the smoke being deployed, both in window and the Molotov going out, the bomb gets planted, and Lin Vision look to hold on to this site.
Yeah, absolutely looking to even up the numbers. Aid Kit in towards window, ready and waiting for a head. He spots one out, just can't land the shot. He's trying to buy time, of course. There is that flank coming in. Fight has to be won, moves forwards, but loses his life, as does Shine, all down to Bentet. I think they have a decent idea of where he's at this point. Kind of a wide swing coming in. Not much that he can really do other than the damage. The round itself is going to be won out. He'll keep the kills coming in, to be fair to him. Get that AWP and get the hell out of there, but Lin Vision, they even things back up, and a B split to do it as well. They've not been massively popular since this new iteration of Dust 2 coming around. There's a lot of the high-level teams that have worked out some decent CT utility, actually, for that B bomb site, but we see Lin Vision go for the B split, and they make it work.
Econ's not looking great for the CT side, and as such, tactical timeout being called by the Alter Ego lads. Getting vocal in the room. Communication is key in these situations to ensure that Barley can have as much say as possible. Gum going to be using this opportunity as well to be able to communicate with the squad. One thing that we potentially didn't highlight enough of was actually the dominance in that first map between Amelia and Westmelon. We mentioned Westmelon kind of leading from the front, but Amelia was up there with frags as well. Actually top fragging the entire game. 20-16 was his end scoreline. +4 on his KD. Zion on the other side of things for Alter Ego, putting in the work. Seeing a relatively slow start for Flying. Currently 0-6, moving into round number 7. Hoping to avoid that James Bond 007. Needs to have more of an impact. He was middle of the pack in Ancient. 13-11. Can he find at least one? New York, the York right now. Aidkit finds Westmelon. There goes your IGL. And Amelia closes the gap, but runs head first into an MP9, which punishes him for his hubris. Afufu looks to recover. Benta on the off angle. Smoke goes down. Can he see above it? Doesn't look like it. Spamming away, and the molly completely shuts him down. Has to fall off. Afufu pushing on up. Aidkit picks up one in form of Afufu on the bomb site as well. And Zaka is nowhere to be seen right now. Drops over the York. Recovers his AK. Nade him through the smoke to see what he can find. Nobody home so far. Multiple angles for him to be able to clear. And as of right now, it's just shooting blindly into the night to see what he can find. Does take down Dovu. Looks to be able to reposition over towards CT as well. But the second that smoke dissipates, Aidkit is there to shut him down. It's a 4th round on the board here for Alter Ego as they regain the lead. And Lin Vision, a lot to be desired in that round.
Yeah, Lin Vision unable to really get past the initial defense, as it were. And that's about as far as they got, was that second to last shot from Aidkit. So much more prepared on the Alter Ego side for a hit. It can be a bit hard to cross in long. You got to be brave. You got to go for it, especially once you get those cross smokes down. And yeah, Lin Vision, I think, a bit too much hesitation.
This is Westmelon. I mean, I kind of respect it, but edge of the smoke was not as deep as he expected. It does get picked off with ease. Fufu and Zaka, the only 2 players really committed into this one. Everyone else has forced one up, but I mean, it's not right to say that. Freeman completely blinded, still manages to find that kill. Flying picks up his second here as he swings on through to the site with that Tech 9. Benta up close and personal by window. Needs to be cautious about getting overwhelmed by the barrage of bullets that can come at the hands of the Tech 9. Here comes some of that util that you were talking about, Script. I mean, mollies, flashes, smokes, you name it, being deployed right now. Bentep takes down one. Flying trades it straight back, but the backup is there from Zine, and it's a 5th round on the board here for Alter Ego without the bomb even being planted.
Going to be difficult for Lin Vision. They are once again on the back foot, once again struggling to get into proceedings here. Seems to be the trend, you know, and not a very nice trend for them of this tournament. Really taking a long while, I think it is safe to say, to get into these games. And you know, you test fate a bit too much, it can come back to haunt you. That's exactly what happened against Drillers yesterday. It could happen here. We're still in the realms of knockout and the realms of a Alter Ego win. And they definitely are not going to go down without a fight. 1 kill in this round thus far for the Glocks is always nice. Any damage is good damage, as an old friend of mine used to say in this type of a situation. But Alter Ego doubling up. 69 now, looking really quite strong in those rifles especially.
Getting flashbacks. We're seeing an almost simultaneous setup as what we saw over on Ancient, in which Alter Ego build up this pretty large gap. Lin Vision then have to reevaluate how they want to play this, take their time out, and start swinging back. But I mentioned it earlier, like, stop playing with your food. Just secure this one. It's a BO3 for elimination from the major. 3rd first one in Asia. And Lin Vision do not want to be sent home this early. Util being committed over towards the same side. Flash goes out, Amelia completely whited. No idea he got swung there by Zion. Westmoreland inside of mid trades Dobu as he gets a little bit too pushy. More Util being committed here. Flash is working well. This is more like it. The great execute onto this A-bomb site. And now just Freeman left alone inside of mid and somehow gets that kill on Westmoreland. I have no clue how he didn't fire back. Looked like he ran out of mouse mat or something with his crosshair placement. Either way, 3 versus 1. Freeman could look to be able to push onto this one if he wished. Has that economic fortitude to be able to do so. But instead, just going to post up inside of mid. Wait for an over-aggressive push from an Envision player, which is never going to come. And save this. Or not. Or he's going to go for it. Never mind. They just push it. And flying is going to fall to the wayside. Zaka drains it straight back.
I'm not a big fan of that. They actually needed that drop.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Their recon was in tatters, bro. Like, what are they doing?
Well, I mean, you know, it's more Dobu's got no money here.
Yeah.
So Freeman needed to drop him. That's kind of the bigger thing. I think Lin Vision can afford it a little bit, but yeah.
They don't. Yeah, they don't have like a backup plan at this point though. It's like if they lose here, yes, they will have some loss bonus to be able to, I suppose, force up if they really wanted to. But Zaka isn't going to be getting much kills until he finds a number of kills in this round.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are right. I think there's potentially just the thought process for Lin Vision. It's a bit more important to take guns away.
Yeah,
you know, a Galil is workable in this round, whereas a 5-7 less so. I don't think they would have had a full-on read on the individual econ, but
no.
All the same, it does kind of have an effect. But I'm in agreement. I think we're still, again, yeah, the level of discipline and all this sort of stuff is still not quite as high as we want it to be.
Mid control being commanded by Lin Vision right now. As they reposition themselves over towards that A-bomb site. Pretty big commitment here from Alter Ego on this B site. We know that as we touched on, buy over to that side of things isn't great, but Dobu posted up close angle with that 5-7. Remaining bolstered up players in Freeman and Bentet. M4s, premium rifles surrounding it. But instead of that A positioning that it looked like they were going for due to their utility, instead they gain that forward control for CT. They spot Dobu as he fades into that smoke, and now they go for the push. And oh my good god, no one's cleared Benta. And he takes down one with the backup there from Zion as well. This round has fallen away from them, and utility and economy be damned. Who cares? Alter Ego are going to be able to secure themselves a 7th here, with Zaka looking to save himself an AWP, but needs to be cautious on this backline. Can he wait until after time? Can Zion find him? No, he cannot. Gets dropped to 7. And it is going to be the AWP saved. Oh, it was close. Zaka almost taken down. But now he's going to be the only real weapon in this round, a round in which Lin Vision just, again, waited way too long. It was 20 seconds on the clock when they begun springing into mid, and they were shut down from 4 different angles.
No CT smoke there is crazy. I don't know if that is just a misread of the resources and, you know, trying to stick to the game plan but lacking a smoke, or if something was failed. But, like, no smoke CT is just insane, to be honest. Like, when you're moving out mid like that, you see exactly what happens. Yeah, a desperate attempt. Especially to, like, move in with no smoke and then not really check the CT angle either, you know. Yeah, just really not quite good enough. Lin Vision punished for it. So I think they will be fully aware of the situation. They don't need us to tell them that they have misplayed in that round.
But we're going to tell them anyway. How dare you? They know that they can recover in this situation. This first half is certainly not the way that they reached. Definitely going to be looking towards that CT side to be able to recover here. First half jitters once again from Lin Vision. This is a little bit more of a deficit than what we saw, though. That first map. Can they pull something out of the woodwork here with this force buy off the back of the saved AWP? from Zaka.
The big question, of course. Flash comes over the top. There's a player in pit. They've got to check him. They've got to do so cleanly. One for Shine is pretty good. Aid Kit holding things down towards short. Does get traded, but the numbers are being thinned eventually. Slowly but surely. Zaka threads the needle there, but Shine is the unstoppable player at the moment. And he will keep it going. He pretty much finds that kill. It's Dobu to secure it, but yeah, really, really clean stuff in the end from Alter Ego. 8-4. This Dust 2 that we were talking about being kind of a shoo-in for Linvision at the moment, looking anything but.
It's a 7-5 half when Linvision are on the CT side of Ancient. The T side of Alter Ego looked substantially better before the half. This time round, it's the CT side in which they're able to do their best work, gaining that lead. Statistically as well, Alter Ego's better side on this map is the T side. Again, we're talking about lower level domestic competition here that they're playing up against. So read into that as much as you will, but clearly a slightly more developed strat book on this T side for Alter Ego. Or just the AK buff, one of the two. Hey, it could be either. Linvision looking for that. Honestly, that elusive timeout that we've come to know and love around about this sort of point. If we see Alter Ego pick up 2 rounds and go 10-4 and then they call a timeout, then maybe this is just like an insane strat from Linvision where it's like, cool, we've seen what they can do in 10 rounds. Now we come back. But that is levels of copium beyond even I'm going to read into.
Well, we'll see. Not over until it's over. Flying. Taking a leaf out of the Alter Ego book here as he looks to get aggressive with these Julies, and he does so a little better. Just got to be careful. He doesn't bite off too much here. For a bit more. Oh, and the pillar's work in his favor. That's the bomb spotted, so I think he will pretty happily take that information and pull back. It's all a bit of guesswork here. Freeman, looking the wrong way, and Amelia saves his teammate's life. That is most unfortunate for Alter Ego, but indeed serendipity for Linvision. They will find themselves with a solid man advantage now.
Online taps here for Make It. Tries to pick a hole in this A-bomb site. Looks like the USPS is going to come out on top of the P250. A Fufu, close range, needs to be cautious about the high rate of fire of this block. He's snuck on up there, no clue he's here. Takes down 1, looks for the second, swings on back and picks up a 3rd. Bentet doing so much work as he finds 3. Over on 8. But now in this 2 versus 1, it would need to be the ace for him to be able to secure this round. Bomb, I don't think in tow, no, drops down inside of Cave. Single bullet onto Flying, needs to find the head. Can he get it onto Amelia? And no, it's gonna be the lower tons player. 2 kills to his name from that same position, saving a teammate and now saving the round for Linvision.
Man, that was a bit scary. Asleep at the wheel there on the Flying end for sure. Bentek goes crazy. That 3-piece is out of this world for sure, and it's just a little unfortunate. Given a couple bashes at it, but could not find the head of Amelia. And yeah, that makes a big old difference. However, I was going to say maybe we see something here from Alter Ego. Potentially could have seen him like drop an acre or something wacky, but not really. Ooh, gonna make too much of it. He does have a deagle. That's what he's done. He's gone for the deagle thanks to the kill bonus. It does actually pay off. First head rolling in favor of Alter Ego leaves them with some control. They do have kind of a mission directive here if they so choose, but it's just all about figuring out where they want to go. Maybe make some money on this MP9, right? Would be nice. The round itself still looks pretty damn good for Linvision.
Certainly still in the driver's seat. Even more so now as well, with Freeman falling. That's why he needs to be cautious that he doesn't get caught out here, and he does at the hands of Bentet. But this MP9 has almost been passed around every single player of Alter Ego at this point. Bentet already low enough off the back of those previous fights with Westmelon. So Fufu jumps on in and finds that kill. It's a 6th round here for Linvisions. They begin clawing this one back. Bit of a bonus round for them there as well, off the back of the MP9 frags. Builds up that CT side economy. Gives them that opportunity to have to buy up here and continue building up even more money in the bank. I mean, Afufu and Zaka, well, it looked like they weren't going to buy, but Zaka's like, actually, never mind, I want that info. Oh, actually, just trades it to Westmelon. There we go. So it is very much a economy building exercise. Let's see what Dobu can do. Flash goes out, smoke on the corner as well. Thinking about swinging through. You can hear the spam of the M4, and he's just going to return fire straight away. No tracers, remember, on the M4A1S through the smoke, so purely off sense alone, he finds that kill. Bentek completely targeted. Close range angle for the MP9 does work once again. We've seen it come alive game after game now. Gun is so strong. Amelia close range. One bullet in the clip. Needs to be careful about how he wants to retake this fight. It spams through the smoke left, right, and center. Amelia not respecting his opponents right now, just looking to find anyone and everyone that he can see. Freeman picks up one, flying on Westman with the trade. A-Kit wants to get in on the fun as well, but the A-bomb site is not going to be lost anytime soon. Zine now on the rotate in this 1 versus 2. Eyes on Goose. Smokes soon to be dissipating. Needs to choose an angle that he wants to fight this one on. Needs to be cautious about the audio cues as well. Can pick up the bomb, but I think only a couple of seconds remain on the CT smoke as it does fade away, and Amelia looks towards CT, but I don't think he's spotted anyone out as of yet. No, he's got off scot-free. Zine somehow, Ships in the Night, has rotated over towards this B-bomb site and knows both players are on the A site now. Rotates over, bomb on his back, gets it planted, and now Linvision have got an uphill battle to be able to retake B.
He has certainly slipped through there. Could have a massive effect here. Kit available for flying. Brilliant round that he has had. Essentially bringing his team back into the argument. Shine hidden away. Here's all the footsteps coming his way. God, so very on it and not ready for him. Oh my, Amelia though. Massive kill, and has to be the player to highlight in that round, right? I think the comical thing over on A is that he's put bullets in pretty much every single spot that the T's were not in through those smokes, you know, hitting the walls and hitting corners, but just created so much space. The smoke is one thing, but, you know, just getting the shoulders out, as they say, and pushing in, having presence, slowing down the T's to allow teammates to come and join him, and, yeah, really well played. And then, of course, the most impactful kill of the round there at the end.
There's a back and forth affair over on that A-bomb site. Could have honestly gone either way. As a smoke flies through the air, we freeze and stare at Flying's lovely M4. And there we go, we're back into the round. Zaka looking for some form of mid-presence here. Flash goes, sorry, nade goes out to clear the smoke, but doesn't look like it committed and connected into the smoke the way you would have liked. So nothing gained up inside of mid. It's a random shot flying through the air. A-Kit is going to use this to his advantage right now as the smoke begins to dissipate. Mid control completely lost from the CT. Zaka's had to fall back. Molly's going in to be able to block off any sightline that could be afforded. Wow, that's crazy that Zaka isn't holding CT right now. No one's holding CT or mid. A-Kit has completely slipped the net right now. Does anyone have any idea he's here? I don't think he does. Plat is there. Plat is open. The spam is there as well, but oh, it is sloppy onto Flying. Flying picks up one onto Freeman as well. Westmelon on the double doors, manages to trade one back, but I don't think it's going to be enough. A-Kit's still putting in work. No one's killed him, but Zaka finally, from CT, manages to shut him down. Dear Lord, that was way too much respect earned.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a pretty kind of conventional. He's never going to get away with that again. But usually when you approach mid, you go for that cross smoke, maybe throw a flash or something like that. And he's just taken a full gamble on the fact that it's like, right, if I don't make any noise, no one's going to pay attention to mid. That's usually how it goes, right? So he tries to get away with something like that. Unfortunately, there's not much that he can do with that, not much that the team can do with that. Needed him to clear out that B-bomb site, but then you've got no cross smoke for everyone to join you, right? So it gets a bit weird as a overall team macro play. There's maybe not as much as you can do with it as you would think. unless I think he finds, a super clean two-piece on the B-bomb site, which just didn't quite happen for him.
Yeah, I think that was the problem, right? Because there was 2 players on the bomb site. I think it was Westmelon who was rotating back through double doors the second that Aid Kit jumped on through window, and he takes down flying, and then he thinks, oh, guys, the site's completely clear, but doesn't clear Westmelon because Westmelon's holding that double doors angle and sprays down the rest of the team. So it was very much the timing working out in his favor and against him at the same time. Speaking about timing once again, inside of the corner, Westmelon almost played trigger discipline to perfection there as he hides in the corner, but Zion does manage to check the corner this time round. It is just going to be A-Kit once again, alone here. Only a single frag onto Westmelon to be found so far. It doesn't look like there's going to be much else, if anything, for him. He does have the bomb on his back, so could position himself over towards this A-bomb site if once again he can sneak on through, because the entirety of Limvision Gaming are posted up inside a CT and not in a position to be able to stop him from getting out on site yet.
Yeah, we'll see, actually. This is where the new boxes might come in, if anyone's ready. If he goes for, sort of the safe plan. But he's, again, taking a few risks, moving around the corners here. Will be able to get the bomb down at the very least. So, in isolation, kind of nice for Alter Ego, taking another kill with him as well. He's got the smoke to work with. So, he might just get something else. Unfortunately, Flying comes around with good timing to deny that eventuality. All the same, as a moment, it's not too bad. But Limvision really picking up steam here, of course. Yet to lose a round in this second half. CT side taking over. And they are looking to keep it going. The Dust 2 that we have spoke about, really, really impressive in recent memory. And now it's starting to come out. Once again, Limvision takes some time. But they are still able to deliver when the chips are down.
Thank God for them. That's where it most matters. You can throw away the early round, it not matter too much. But when you come down to it, the brass tacks is, hey, you need to get to 13. You need to get to 12 and 13 first. And on this current pace, they're looking to do so. It is what feels like, for the first time in a long time, a full buy from both sides. Economy is equal. Weaponry is equal. And there's an AWP in the hands of Zaka and Aid Kit as well. Aid Kit, a player who has come alive substantially more in this second game than what we've seen in the previous 2 maps at all. 14 kills to his name so far. Bentep looking to do some damage over on this A-bomb site up short. But the fadeaway, Zaka is going to be safe.
A lot of smokes out here across the board, actually. Alter Ego slowing it down. Been going towards mid a lot. So I think even though this is a change-up and the pacing slightly different, Limvision will still be ready for it. It's a lot of pressure on Flying, unfortunately, does get overwhelmed. So, yeah, Alter Ego have read that situation quite well, and the way that Limvision have been playing things. They're not really dedicating a solid player into the mid position. They're playing like a 3-2 kind of setup, and in this round it has come back to bite them in the backside. Aid Kit with the round-winning kill forces the remaining 2 to save. So, yeah, Limvision, a massive hole in their defense has just been abused. It takes a bit of time, but Alter Ego have figured it out.
Yeah, looks like Limvision was semi-expecting someone inside of mid by the double doors. I don't think they were expecting Aid Kit's AWP trained on the close angle, but hey, you got to prepare yourself for every eventuality. Torigo bring us back level 9-9. It's the rifle round in which they're able to convert a great split to this B-bomb site as they poke and probe A once again and then change their finishing point. With this, they look to regarner some control. From a CT side perspective, a little bit of share of the love situation. Dropping rifles to your teammates. Making sure everyone's, not got too much money in their back pocket for the next round. But still ensuring that everyone can have an impact inside of mid. Dobu and A-Kit. This 2-man duo. One chucking the util and one with the AWP. Able to do too much so far. As the cross still happens on this B-bomb site. The CTs position themselves quite aggressively on plat. Eyes on a Fufu, though, who, speaking about aggression, has pushed all the way through A-long double doors and holds, waiting for someone to swing into his crossfire. Bentet, trained on the angle, almost has an inkling that he's there. Might have heard an audio cue that someone was stepping up close. I'll put a thorn in their side about how they want to execute onto this round.
Ulterigo playing pretty well here. I quite like the passiveness that they've started to bring.
Yeah.
Really thinking about their movements. Very, very methodical here, rather than a lot of the plays we've seen throughout this series from both teams, honestly, just being super bursty and all about grouping up and kind of the pack mentality. So this is nicer, but also more conventional out of Dust 2, right? You wind the clock down, you base some utility, and then eventually you make a bit of a play. Now, it is kind of a fake out, and thankfully, Westmelon here, we'll see what kind of effect we have. Fufu's come in from behind, he strikes at the perfect time from the longhouse to just distract things away. Amelia, you know, really left out on an island, clearly did not hear them moving in. Comms or whatever overtaking the game sound, and it nearly cost them massively. Bit of timing missed here, unfortunately. Only 10 seconds to get that bomb down, but they should comfortably get the plant. All the same, 2-on-2, where actually for Alter Ego it was very good for a moment. Freeman is here, but he's not quite set up. They overwhelm him. It's down to Bentet, legend of the region in the 1 versus 2 here. Trained in on the angle, clean spray down for the first, and he gets the second 2. Bentet rolls it back to give Alter Ego 10.
Down to 2 HP, but he finds the 2K. Alter Ego commanding the lead there, and a round in which Linvision realistically should have taken. And you talked about timing not being in Alter Ego's favour. Hell, timing not being in Linvision's favour. I have no clue why Zaka decided that he needed to rotate and back up a Fufu there. A Fufu did all the work. He picked up 2 frags inside of mid, traded his life for it, and then Zaka was like, oh, well, I've been trained on this A-bomb site and locked it down with my AWP. Let me just lurk inside of mid and see what damage I can do. He did absolutely nothing. He got shut down. He traded the AWP for an M4, and I don't even think he got a bullet out the chamber before his head was ripped clean off. I think I would have preferred him to continue holding this A-bomb site. Lock it down. It was under lock and key, my friend. You didn't need to do any more, but it falls the way of Alter Ego. They take a tactical pause as they realise that something miraculous could happen here. Taking Linvision's map pick, a map which, as we've toted time and time again, we've mentioned this is a strong map for them. Load of history here between tier 1 opposition and local opposition as well. Wins and close affairs. It's aggression from Linvision once again. This time, instead of respecting this A-bomb site, they are just positioning themselves over towards B, see if they can catch onto this gamble. With no information gained here at all, knowing that cave is clear, and hearing this util committed over towards long, I think the jig is up. They know they need to begin their rotation over towards this bomb site. The smoke goes down into CT to be able to block off that sight line. With 1 minute and 25, if Alter Ego want to change the pace and move back towards spawn, they can do so. They're going to have a fight on their hands. As this rotate from a Fufu and Zaka as they begin pushing on in is going to be brutal, but Dobu knew that someone might try this. Zaka's got off scot-free, still with the rifle in tow, and Zion on the close angle, taken absolutely loads of space, with A-Kit finding the kill onto Westmelon. Amelia close, looking for the Deeg 1 tap. Can he find anything? Misses the shot, has to fall back. There's only a pistol to back him up. And I think off the back of that as well, the round is said and done. If they were able to find something on this long angle, if we didn't have Dobu holding down the fort, then maybe Linvision had a chance. There was no way it wasn't going to back up this team that have taken a chance on him on loan for Atox. An 11th round for Alter Ego. 2 away from securing Linvision's map pick.
I think that surprises us all, really. But a very well played round there from Alter Ego. Yes, they're against the low buy, but they know the onus is on Linvision to do something. So they get their long control, and then they just chill. They just calm down, you know. I think that's something that they've done very, very well in this second half, actually, is realizing that, you know, the early rounds, the bursty rounds, didn't quite work for them. Linvision happy to take fights, but when it comes to, you know, trying to get back into the game or figuring out the round, what's going on, they get very restless, the Linvision side. They really do. And I think Alter Ego, that's a good, very simplistic kind of showing of the approach that they're now taking, which is a bit more strung out, a bit more thought out indeed. So let's see what Linvision have got in the back pocket, just the top of the head there towards lower tunnels.
Smoke goes down, but the comm must have been there. The amount of rifles that have their aim trained down here right now. They're clearing every angle known to man. Westmelon needs to hit this double tap on the M4, but no, he gets more positioned. More space inside of mid, looks for the AWPer if he can find it. That's not to be the case. Doldrum is going to be the face he sees instead, and he swings on in, ripping the head of Westmelon, who tries to get aggressive. A Fufu not punished this time round for his aggression. Instead, that kill spams through the mid doors. A-Kit finding flying. There's frags all over the map. And as of right now, Linvision don't know where to put themselves. Another kill for A-Kit. He's come into form in this map. Freeman picking up one more, and Zine making it a 12th for Alter Ego. Linvision have a force, and that is it here. They need to be clean and consistent to take us to OT. They had their best opportunity in this round, and honestly, kind of squandered.
Yeah, to be fair, I think there was unfortunately a couple of moments where they've lost gunfights quite close. The timing's just not quite there. It's their first tack pause. Like, the mind
dude, I just spotted that.
boggles,
What
bro.
on
The mind
earth?
boggles. Yeah, absolutely wild. But I think they are, again, just realizing a little bit too late that things are not going well. But listen, man, they look very, very good at the start of this. They won 5 in a row. And, you know, some decent recoveries from them and whatnot on the rifles. Alter Ego, though, just changing up the approach, changing up the strategy. And it clearly has had a pretty positive effect. On that same thought, though, Linvision potentially do have themselves to blame. When it gets like 9-7, 9-8, you got to take a time out then, you know, figure out
Just
around.
take a breather.
Yeah.
Like, just take 30 seconds. It's fine. Like, you've got a minute and a half in the back pocket to be able to do that with. Make sure you use it to the best of your opportunity. A Fufu close onto the corner. We've seen him get so aggressive on long, and well, this time round doesn't want to tempt fate all too much. We're seeing a shed ton of util being committed here by the T side to be able to lock down these angles and be able to not make it can see through there. No thermal scope on the angles that need to be cleared. So right now he's committed onto the bomb site itself. Trained on Goose. Looking for some skeet shooting of someone up close. Nobody home. The rotates have come on. Nobody home. The rotates have come on through. There's a gap in that scope that could be abused here by Zion, and looks like it might be. Wow, okay, a Fufu's being able to cross, and I think he's spotted out information here. Might just want to play close onto the corner, knows that it's already been mollied out. They might think that, okay, they're running low on util, don't want to be wasting it here. That smoke's about to fade, and a Fufu, I don't think, is long for this world if he continues peeking like this, especially not with a MP9 from long range. It's coming on out. I think it hits him, and it does. So does a chip of that Molotov. Zyme picks up the opener. Immediate. Going to be able to trade one back, and a little bit more chip damage on the Beta, but that's all we're going to be seeing so far. The spray is so clean here for Freeman. Zaka needs to go ballistic. Someone's been a little bit quiet in this game. It manages to find 2. Now flying with the MP9. Such a tall order at this long range against 2 AKs. No util to speak of. Gonna try and reposition. Gonna go through CT to see if this will be the difference maker. See if a reposition with this SMG will do the work that he needs it to do. Bentet, aggressive angle inside of this smoke, waiting, holding, expecting someone there. He didn't spot flying. Oh, there he does. Now he does. Oh my God, I thought that was going to fall away from them. Alter Ego, they secure a very clean T side after a single timeout. That's all they needed. And they bring them